Hello guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to LambdaTest. In this video, we are going to learn about the page object model. We are going to learn like how to write the pages and also how to execute the pages with the help of the classes we are going to write. And it's going to be very simple. If you already aware of test automation, like mostly we use page object model, right? So the question is like, what is page object model? Page object model, also known as POM, is a design pattern in test automation that creates an object repository for storing all the elements. It is useful in reducing code duplication and improve test case maintenance. In page object model, consider each web page of an application as a class file. For example, let me give you some demos. So this is our e-commerce playground from LambdaTest platform. We are going to use this for our learning today. So here you can see like we have login page, we have this registration page. So first of all, we have to do the registration, and when we do the registration, we can see like we have few fields like first name, last name, email, telephone, your password confirm, and few other things, right? So all these elements we will write within the class called register page. Okay, and then once we do the registration, then we use the same credential to do the login. So for that, we will write a separate class as login page, and there we will keep our email, the password, and the login button and the password, forgot password. Okay, so similarly, like for each and every page, each and every screen, whatever the web elements we need to do the interaction in our test case, depends on our test case. We are going to write all those in separate classes, and then we will call that in our test cases. So why we have to write so many codes? Because of course it's going to be time consuming, and as well as like we have to maintain for each and every screen, right? So few things like this will be one-time effort, but it will definitely help us while if there is any changes in the application. For example, let's say that this login page, right? So this user email ID, the whatever the ID or locator we are going to use, is going to change in the upcoming sprint. Then wherever I have used this particular login code, there or in all the places I have to change, right? But we know that use of function, right? We can make this login as a function, and we can change within the function once, and we have to call the functions like wherever we have called the login functions, there it will get changed automatically. So that is the benefit of page object model. I hope you are good with the theory. Now let's go and get started with the coding part. Already we have created a project and we have learned few of the concept, right? So within the same project, I'm going to create a folder called POM, or let's name it like pages. And within the pages, we are going to write all the classes. Okay, so first of all, we are going to write like based on the registration page. Okay, so here this is our registration page. Okay, so let me create a class for that. Okay, so one is the register page. Okay, similarly we are going to also create for the login page, so I'm going to write that as well. Okay, yeah, so both are fine as of now. Not only registration and login, we will write few other classes as well, just to give you a good idea like how can we share the data across multiple tests. Okay, so here we have like lot of fields. I'm going to skip all the validation part like the header or the label. Probably you know that. I'm sure like as of now, if you have watched all my previous video, then definitely you would have know that how to do the assert in Playwright. Okay, so I'm just going to do some interaction. Like here we have all the mandatory fields. I'm going to quickly inspect and write the function for that. Okay, now here we can write in two ways. Okay, so one is like assume that we are going to check only the registration page. So where we have to check like the labels, and like if we click on continue, we'll get some warning like this and some error message like this. We have to validate all those as well. Okay, so that will be like your separate test case. But in a whole, like I just want to do the registration and I want to use the credential to do the login, so that will be a single function. So it is recommended to like do the interaction like enter first name. Okay, that will be your separate function. Enter last name, that will be your separate function. But all the functions together we can write a simple function like register, and where we'll pass our actual test data. Okay, so let's go and get started now. So first of all, I'm going to inspect this one, and here I can see like we have a id called input dash first name. I'm going to copy that, and here of course we have to write the classes. So here we'll say like export default class and then the class name. Okay, so here it's going to be like register page. Okay, that's it. Very simple. This is how we write the class in TypeScript. Okay, export in the sense like of course we can use this class for creating object. Okay, now let's go and write like enter first name. So this is our function. Okay, within the class we don't use the keyword function to declare a function. These are technically like your methods, so we don't have to say like the function keyword. Okay, and it's going to have a test data like the first name, so I'm going to give that, and that is going to be of the type string. Okay, this type is not necessary to declare, but of course it's a TypeScript. We'll get some suggestion while using this function, so it is recommended to use as well. Okay, so here we are going to use the page. Okay, before that of course we have to get the constructor here, and within the constructor we are going to say like public, and then we are going to say like page, and that's going to be of type page from Playwright. Okay, so I'm going to import that. So import page from Playwright test. Okay, so that's it, very simple. Okay, now if you do not know about TypeScript much, this is same thing like declaring a constructor and we get the value, right? We get the page value and we say like this dot page. Instead of that we can just simply use this. This is like your TypeScript function. Okay, so here I can select simply I can select this dot page and that should work fine. Okay, so that's it. If you do not know about this constructor and the TypeScript class, probably you can watch those tutorial on my channel, LetCode with Kaushik. There I have explained that in more detail. In this video I'm going to stick to the topic, that is page object model. Okay, so here first of all of course we have to find the locator, and the locator is going to be our id, which is this one. Let me copy and paste. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are going to do the enter like so. Of course we have to use the function called type, and here we will pass our actual test data, that is first name. Okay, this one, and of course we have to use the await in the sense like of course this function or method should be of async type. Okay, that's it. We are done with our first one. Similarly we are going to write for the last name, email and everything. Okay, let's do that very quickly. And here we'll get our values and we'll replace this one, input last name. Okay, similarly we are going to give the data for the telephone. So let's go and inspect, and here also we can select we have a name called telephone. We are going to make use of that. Let's write this very quickly. So I'm going to copy paste the same function again, and here I'll say like enter telephone, and here it will be like phone, and of course the phone number data type is going to be string here because we have to pass it as a string. Even though the actual data is number, we have to pass it in the string format, so we'll keep this like string as it is. Okay, and the locator value is telephone. Let's copy that, place over here. That's it. Okay, and now we'll give our password. So let me write to another function. So this is going to be your password, and another one is going to be confirm password. Okay, so here like enter password and enter confirm password. Okay, so this is going to be my password, and this is going to be my password as well. Okay, now let's go and check the locator. So here we have like name equal to password. I'm going to copy and change, and here we have like confirm password, which is name equal to confirm. That's it, we are pretty much done. And by default it is like your no. Okay, so maybe just to show you the validation thing, I'm going to take this one. Okay, so subscribe yes or no. Okay, so by default it is like selected, and here you can see like it is checked basically, right? So here we have an ID called input newsletter no, and we are going to validate that one. Okay, so here I will write like async, and then I can say like subscribe okay, so here you can select is subscribe, maybe something like checked, very meaningful. And then here I'm going to say like await this dot page dot locator, and the locator value and is checked. Okay, so we are going to return this, right? So what we'll say, we'll simply say like return, and is checked is going to of course return the promise. So here we have to use the await. Okay, how to use it, the promises while writing the test, I will show you in a moment. Okay, so that's it, we are pretty much done with our first page. And of course we have to I think we have to click on this checkbox as well. So let's go and see. So where is this one? Yeah, this is the checkbox. Okay, so let's me go and inspect. Okay, so this is actually after, and yeah, I believe we have to check on this input agree only. Let us check if it's correct or not. Okay, so we'll say like async, and then followed by click term and condition. Okay, so that's going to be this dot page dot click and the value, and of course it should be await. Okay, don't miss the await, or else you will see some unexpected behavior in your test script, and that will be really tough to debug. Okay, so always make sure you are going to write the proper syntax. Okay, so we are done, pretty much done, I can say. Yeah, lastly we have to click on this continue button, and here it's a input which has a value called continue. So I'm going to copy that, and here I'll say like async click continue. Click continue doesn't make sense to me, so I'll say like continue to register, so that will be more meaningful here. And I'll say like await page, not page, it should be this dot page dot click and the value. Okay, so that's it, pretty much simple. We are done with our first page. Okay, now let's go to our login page, and here it's going to be very, very simple. So we have to give the email ID. Again, I'm going to skip all the label validation, the buttons validation, so you can write off your own. Okay, I'll just give you the overall like how we can implement the page object model. So here we have to write two functions, so I'm going to quickly copy that. I can copy this one. Yeah, so here first of all, of course, we have to write a class like export default, and then followed by the class name with the keyword called class, and then the class name, that is login page. And of course we will have our constructor. Within the constructor we will get our page. So page is nothing but, consider, if you know Selenium, this is kind of like your driver. Okay, so here I will say like import the page from Playwright test runner. Okay, that's it, very simple. Now we'll just paste here, and here we'll say like enter what is the function name. Yeah, it's email address, right? So we'll say like enter email, and that's going to be our email address, something like that. And here if you go and inspect, this has a name called email, so I'm going to copy that, and here we're going to paste it. Okay, so that's it, very simple. Similarly, we have to give our password, so I'll say like enter login password. Okay, and this login password has a name called password, so I'm going to copy that. Okay, and this is going to be our password. Even though this is a local variable, we don't have to change particularly for each and every function, but it is recommended to do so. Like whenever we call this function, we'll see that in the TypeScript documentation or the VS Code IntelliSense, like code suggestion. So we will be aware of like what exact data we have to pass. Okay, so that's it. I think no, we have to click on this login button. So I'm going to click not handle this forgotten password. That will be assignment for you. Like you can click on this and you can write the test cases for that. Okay, so here we have like value equal to login. I'm going to copy that, and here I'll say like async click, and then followed by what is this? Yeah, login btn, like login button. And here I'll say like await this dot page dot click, and we'll give the value. Okay, so that's it, very simple. We are pretty much done with first two pages. Now what we are going to do is, once we have logged in, and then we are going to check the products. Okay, so let me remove this guy from here first. Okay, let me give you an idea like what I'm trying to do here. So first of all, the page will be like of course it will be log out. So let me log out. Okay, so we are going to pass some random data, and we are going to create an account. Once we create the account with the same credential, we'll do the login. Once we done with the login, then I will click on this special hot section, and then here you can select we have a product, the first product. I'm going to mouse hover on this. I'm going to click on this add to cart, and then probably we can add some validation like whether the these buttons are visible or not. Okay, then from here we'll go to the cart, and we'll take this name, like whatever value we have added, and then we'll simply log out. Once we do the log out, then again we will log in with the same credential, with the same user, and we'll check like the previously added value is there in the cart or not. Okay, very simple test case, but it will take some time, so I will recommend you to watch the video fully to understand it better. Okay, so I hope you guys are with me till now. Let's go and write the test classes for this. Okay, and what page is this? This is basically kind of like our home page, I can say. So if you go and click on this logo, you can see like we have like common dash home, not dash, common slash home, and this is basically like our home page. From the home page, I'm going to keep a menu sections like home, special hot, blog, and all the stuff. Okay, just to give you some idea, I will do that, but you can change as per your requirement. Okay, so let me create a class here, and that's going to be like home page dot ts, and of course we have to write our class. And then of course the constructor, and within the constructor we are going to receive the public page, and that's going to be of type page, and we can click that, so we'll get the import statement automatically. Okay, now here what we need to click on this special hot, right? So we'll say like click on special hot menu, something like that. Okay, let's go and inspect this one, and here let's go and inspect this one. So I think this is going to be a tag, and it has some link text, I believe. Yeah, link text of special hot, so we can copy that, and simply I can select this dot page dot click, and then within double quotes, single quotes, and the value. Since it's a linked text, we have to enclose that within a single quotes within the double quotes. Okay, and of course this is going to be await, and here the method is going to be async. Okay, that's it, very simple. I'm going to skip other things just for our test scenario. I'm going to click on this, so one element is fine for now. Okay, and this is our special hot page. Okay, so this is going to be a separate class. Okay, so I'm going to create another class like special hot page.ts. okay, again let's write a class special class, and as usual the same constructor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy from here and paste over here just to save some time, and then I will just import this one from Playwright test. Okay, so to do this import you can use like control dot, and from the selection you can choose the appropriate one. Okay, so that's it. Now what we are going to do is we are going to mouse over on this first product and we are going to add to cart. Okay, so of course like you can add some validation, and you can do select, you can check for the headers, number of datas, like you already know all the testing things I believe. So let me stick to my scenario now. Okay, so here what we are going to write is I will just write a simple function like add first product to the cart. Okay, just to make it very simple I'm going to give this name, which is very easy to understand I believe. Okay, now let's go and check how we can inspect this one. So here you can select, once we do the mouse over then we'll get this particular button. Now right click and click, and here I can say like we have this button called with a title called add to cart. Okay, and yeah, we got the XPath, but this is like one of one. Okay, yeah, so totally we have 8 buttons with the same XPath, but the first one is what we are going to take. But since we are using the locators, the behavior is like strict. So what we can do is we can use like nth of 1. Okay, so that should be fine I believe. Nth of 0 I guess. Yeah, okay, let's go and check. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first of all of course we have to mouse over on this guy to bring this one, right? So let's go and inspect this particular element, and I will just add this here as of now. Yeah, so this is what, this is an image, and yeah, this is an image with iPad touch. Okay, not 10 proper things I guess. Yeah, okay, so here what we'll do, this one is the correct I think. Okay, so we have a class called image, and within that we have a tag. Okay, let's go and write that one. I think we should go with the XPath, not the CSS. So /div @class equal to image. We got the first one itself, and but we should not mouse over on the image, rather we should mouse over on this a tag. So I will just like /a, and yeah, that's fine. So we got all the images, but we are interested on the first image, so that is fine I believe. So yeah, if it's not working we'll change, so not a big deal. Okay, so first of all what we have to do, we have to do the mouse over, right? So we'll say like await this dot page dot, what is the function? Hover is the function, right? Hover, and the element yeah, option. Okay, and this is going to be async. Okay, let me comment this line. So this dot page dot hover, and we have to pass the selector, and once we do the mouse hover, is it strict? I don't think it's a strict one. Yeah, it's also strict, but I'm going to make it false. Okay, so within the options what we can say is we can strict equal to false. Strict in the sense like it will if multiple matches found it will fail that one. Okay, it will say like strict violation error. I think that we already discussed in our some video. okay. So I'm going to make it false, okay. Then what I'll do, then I will say like await and then followed by this guy, right? So once we do the mouse over, we'll get this particular XPath. We'll take that one. So await this dot page dot locator, and the locator value is this one, dot nth of 0 or 1. So it's index, so it will start from the 0, and then I'll say like dot click. So that should be this action, okay. Once we do the click, here you can see like we got like view cart and checkout. So let's go and write some assert for this, okay. So view cart is there, right? So yeah, it's already disappeared. Yeah, I know what to do. So what we can do is we can just simply go and add to cart, go to your source and click F8. So it will pause your DOM, okay. So script won't execute after this. Now let's go and inspect this particular thing. Something's wrong is, yeah. Okay, let me close all this one. Okay, so for the view cart, I have already written this. So we have a XPath like view cart, and we have something like this, okay. So we'll wait for the locator to be visible. Once that is visible, then we'll return that particular locator, okay. So now let's go and let's have a quick recap actually. So here you can see like we have this registration page where we have our constructor, and here enter first name, enter last name, enter email, enter telephone, enter password, confirm password, and is subscribe checked. Here I have done a small modification, like previously we are using like a dot is visible, but here we will just return only the locator. I will tell you like how to use the web first assertion from Playwright, okay. And here click term and condition, click continue to register, very simple thing, okay. Then we have the login page where enter email, enter login password, and click on login button. Then we have the home page where we are going to click on this particular special hot menu, and here previously we are using link text, but I have changed that to a XPath, okay. And then we have this special hot page where we'll add this function like add first product to the cart. So we'll do the hover and we'll click on the first one, the add to cart, that's it, and toast visible is there, okay. Now let's write some test. So already we have a folder called test where we have learned all our Playwright basics. So I'm going to not touch that folder, rather I will just go and create a new folder called pom test, and within that I'm going to create a test file, okay. So I'll name it like add to cart .test.ts file. You can name it like .spec.ts as well, which is absolutely fine, okay. So first of all we'll do the import. We'll import the test from Playwright test, and of course we need a test block. We'll create that one. Let's name it like register, and I'm going to give some identification like 01, okay. And here we have to import all the classes that we have created, okay. So import, then followed by what is the class name. So first class name is my register page, and that's going to be like from colon dot slash pages slash register page, okay. So similarly we need the login page, and we need the special hot page, yeah, and also we need the home page. So let's copy and give it here, okay. And here it should be like your login, and this is going to be your home, this is going to be your special hot pages, okay. So we have done all the imports, okay. Now within the test, so if you go to our config file, here you can see like we have something like base URL. So base URL is nothing but the endpoint or the application URL. So here you can see like e-commerce slash index PHP, then route it is going to change, okay. So for example, if I do the logout, it will say like account slash logout. If I go to the register, it will be like account slash register. So this route only we need, and this first part is going to be a static. So I have kept that in the base URL. Okay, now let me go and write the test. I will tell you how to use it. Very simple. Here we have to call like base URL. That's it. Okay. All this are coming from the concept of fixture. We'll talk about that detail in our next video. Okay. So here we'll say like await page.goto, and here I'm going to use the backticks, and here I'm going to use the ampersand, and I can say like base URL, then followed by this one, route equal to account/register. Okay, because we are navigating to the register page. Then of course we have to create an object, right? So here we'll say like const register equal to new register page, and within that we will pass our constructor. I mean, within the constructor we will pass our page object here. Okay, then here I can say like register dot click, not click, so enter first name, that's going to be, let's say like it's going to be Kaushik, and similarly I'm going to say like enter password, enter email, and of course we want the enter confirm password. Let's bring this together, enter email. What else we have? Enter telephone, right? So here we'll say like let's bring this up as well. Yeah, await register dot enter telephone, and give some dummy data like maybe like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Okay, that's fine. And enter password is like Kaushik @123, and this password is going to be like @123. And here what else we have? That's it, 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, so 5 is done. Yeah, we'll remove this one. Okay, now here like enter email, right? So we want this email to be used in our next test as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like this mailenter.com. okay, this as my global data. Okay, so I'm going to select that, control dot, I will get some menu like this, and I will say like export to constant in module scope. Okay, and this is going to be an email. That means like we are saving this data as a variable in the test level. Okay, not a class, this is not a class file, so this like your test level. That means like out of the scope, out of the test also we can use this for our another test. Okay, and similarly the password as well, right? The password is also going to be like we have to reuse, so I'll just change this. And this confirm password is also going to be same, so I'll just utilize password. Okay, that's it. Do we need the first name and the last name? Not now. Maybe for some kind of assertion we can use that, like we can store anything in a data variable and we can use it, right? That's it. So enter last name, let me give like Chatterjee. Okay, so first name, last name, email, telephone, password, confirm password. That's it. Okay, now here we have some kind of validation, like we'll check like whether the checkbox is subscribe button is enabled or not. Okay, of course it should be no, and it should be enabled, right? So here I can say like await, not await, we'll use the expect directly, and I can say like register dot is subscribe checked to be checked actually, but here if you go to the here we are getting the locator element. Okay, so here we are getting the locator. So what we can do is we can, sorry, this should be expect not export. Okay, and here it should be like to be checked. Okay, that means this is known as Playwright web first assertion. Okay, so here within this we are returning only the locator, so we can get that locator, and here we can select to be checked, or else like we have to use like to be checked, and here we have to check with the expect with the true, right? So instead of that we can write this very simple thing. Okay, so yeah, that's it, pretty much simple. Next we have to click on this term and conditions. Okay, so here I'll say like await, then followed by register dot click term and condition, and then I'll select await register dot click continue to register. Okay, so that's it, very simple thing. Okay, so here if you go to the continue to register, basically we are just doing this continue to button, right? But we have to wait until the page gets loaded completely. So what can I do is I can simply say like await promise dot all, and within this I can say like this dot page dot wait for navigation, and if you want you can give something like wait until, and I will say like network idle. Okay, so we'll wait until the page loads entirely. Okay, and then we can say like this dot the continue button. Okay, so that's it, very simple thing. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, now let's go and check this quickly. So here I'm going to run this, so I'm not getting that execute button. So within the config file here already I have given like pom test / add to cart.test.ts. okay, now let's go to this one. Let's go to the test runner, and add to cart is there, register is there, right? Okay, let's go and run this now from the VS Code plugin. Okay, so here you can select it went to the account/register, that is the use of base URL, and it click on the continuity button, and it loaded until the page loads complete. I mean, it waited until the page loads completely, then of course our test is passed. Okay, now here with this data, right, so we have the email and we have the password. With that data we are going to do the login. Okay, so I'm going to write one more test, and this is going to be my login test scenario, so I'll name it like test02. okay, and of course we'll use the same base URL concept here as well, and here I'll say like await page dot go to and ampersand within backticks, and within curly braces we'll say like base URL, and then followed by route, what is this, login. Yeah, this is going to be route equal to account/login. okay, that's it, very fine. Now of course we have to create object for the login page as well, so we'll say like const login equal to new login page, and within the constructor we'll pass our page object, and here we'll say like login await. okay, so await login dot enter email, which is going to be our email, and await login dot enter login password, which is going to be our password, and await login come on, this console.log is getting more suggestion, click login button. okay, and within the login button also we are going to wait until the pages load completely. okay, so here we'll say like await promise.all, and within the array first of all we say like this dot page dot wait for navigation. yeah, this is also fine, it will understand of its own, like we don't have to say network idle or with DOM loaded content, something like that. Mostly it cannot wait until the page loads completely, but if you have any external kind of scenario you can use wait until something like that, or else it should also work fine. okay, now let's go to our test case, and I think this should work fine. okay, so once we do the login we are going to write some kind of expect. so here you can select we have like my account, correct? So here I can say like expect wait page dot title and to be that's going to be like my, and then followed by what we have account, right? So here I can select my account. yeah, that's it, I think it's pretty much fine. Let's go and do the login. yeah, login is success and the title is also success. okay, now we can make this in two ways. okay, so first of all, like when we like let's say that we are going to enter the email. okay, so for example let's go to the login page one more time, and here I'm going to enter only the email, and I'm going to click on this login button. so here I will get some warning. okay, so for that we can use this like enter email, click login, verify error message is there, that you remove the email, you give the password, you click on the login button, the typical use cases, right? So for that the separate function is fine, but when my login is going to be my precondition, for example here now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do the login, I'm going to add a product to the cart, and I'm going to check whether the product is in the cart or not, right? So for that login is going to be my precondition, not my actual test. So in that scenario, I really don't have to write all this function, I have to call all this function again and again. So what can I do is I can simply write only one function like login, and where it's need the email and the password, right? And then what can I do is I can simply call this function there itself. Okay, so like function calling internally, that's it, very simple. So what I'll do, I'll just copy paste. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So login is not my precondition anymore, right? I mean, login is going to be my precondition now, so I don't have to call separate function again and again. Okay, and here it should be like this. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, and here I can say like string. Yeah, so this is going to be my only one function. So in my next test, I really don't have to call all the 3 lines. Rather, I will just say like login.login. Okay, so add to cart, and this is going to be my test underscore 03. Okay, what is 01, 02, 03 in the sense like it can be your test case ID from the Jira or the Microsoft Azure. Based on the test case manager you're going to use, you can use that one. Okay, just for identification, not necessary you should use like this only, but good to have. Okay, so we'll go to the login and we'll say like await login, and we'll pass our email and the password that we used to create the user previous test. Okay, now we are going to create another 2 object as well. So one is the home page equal to new home page, where we'll pass the page in the constructor, and similarly the special page with equal to new special. Yeah, special hot page, and we'll pass our page here. Okay, I'm really thirsty now, so I'm going to end up the tutorial quickly after this scenario. Okay, rest of the things probably you can do as your true task. Okay, so login. Now what we are going to do, once we log in, we'll navigate to that particular hot site menu, right? So we'll say like home page dot click on special hot menu, and then once we go to that special hot page, what we have to add first product to the cart, and then we'll check like special dot is toast visible. Okay, so let's go within the toast visible. So here we are waiting for this locator, we'll wait for visible, and then we'll return the toast. Okay, so here I can say like what is this is going to return me the toast, right? Okay, so let's name it like const is cart visible, something like that. So this is going to return me the locator, and then I can use the expect and his cart visible to be visible is the function. Okay, so that's it, very simple. We are pretty much done, I guess. Let's go and run this one more time. Let's see whether it's working fine or not. Yeah, it's going to the login page. The login is success. It should go to the special hot, done. And yeah, it's pretty much same, looks very same. Okay, so click on hot menus, click on yeah. Okay, now I'm going to do one more thing. Okay, so if I go to this hot menu, right, so I will wait until the page loads completely. Okay, not sure if you have noticed that or not, like we are able to mouse over on the first page, I mean first product, and we are able to add on the click on like add to cart, we are able to click on that, but the page is not loaded completely. Okay, so I think we should wait until that gets clicked properly. Okay, so here we are doing the hover and we are also clicking on this cart. Okay, but before that we can wait for this actually. Okay, so here I can say like or else I can just wait until the page gets loaded completely. Okay, anything is fine. So here we'll say like await promise dot all, and within the square bracket this dot wait for this dot page dot wait for navigation, and we'll wait until the network idle, that means everything should load. Okay, and then we'll use like this dot page dot click. Okay, so that's it, very simple. If you just want, we'll run all this together. Okay, so this is our test. Let me close all the files. Okay, so we are going to write all the tests in a single test. So what can I do is I can simply wrap this, instead of multiple tests I can wrap this like test.describe. so within the describe block, async and a anonymous function. Within this I can call all my tests. Okay, and this test is like my page object test demo. You can give you some name, meaningful name. I'm just giving just for the sake of showing you the example. Okay, now of course we have already registered with this email, so I'll just change this 3 password, let it be same. Okay, so here we got this our page object model test. So where we are doing the registration, then we are checking the login. Once we do the login, we are just checking like we are able to add a product to the cart. Okay, after that, I know I have said few scenarios, but the time is really long duration. I think this is going to be like 45-50 minutes video, so I think this is fine for now. Maybe you can take other task, whatever I said initially in the video, you can do it from yourself, but I believe you got a good idea how to write the page object model. Okay, so I'm going to run this one more time and I'm going to show you. So here I'll say like npm test. Okay, so it should run each test one by one and we should see the result. Okay, so a few things here we can improve, like we can give our test data from the JSON file, which will be very handy, and instead of giving like page.goto, we can create a router class and we can give the routes there. That will be really easy. And one more thing is using the fixture. We will talk about the fixture in the next video. Okay, so it's going to execute login and it's going to the special hot page. It's going to mouse over, add to cart, and yeah, it's almost done. Okay, insane, it's very fast. Okay, so that's it. I believe you understood how to write the pages and how to write the test, and also how to generate the test report. So if you go to this Playwright test report, of course we already have discussed about that. So if you go to this index.html, you can say like test 0, 1, 2, 3 all got passed, and if you want to see the video, yeah, you have that as well. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one very soon. Tada, bye bye. Have a great day.